Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Friends, welcome to the Encounter program sponsored by the Broome County Council of Churches. I'm your host, Mark Kimpland, the pastor at the Endwell United Methodist Church. I'm excited about this program because I've wanted to do a program about our topic today for quite some time, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that today because our guest on the show is Mary Whitcombe, and she is the director for the Broome County Office for Aging. And so, Mary, I welcome you to the Encounter program. I'm so glad that we've connected to be able to do this.
Yes, thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
Fantastic. Great. Let's start here. Can you share with our listeners and our viewers that some may know a lot about the agency, some maybe not at all. Can you give us a little bit of your background? And as the director, I can only imagine your roles and responsibilities, but can you share some of that with us as we get started?
Sure. I am fairly new to the Office for Aging. I came here last May when the previous director was retiring. I had been working for the last 20 years in a nonprofit agency on very similar topics, a lot of food insecurity, case management type things. It was a very natural transition for me to come to the Office for Aging. They obviously work with a specific population here, but the general idea of the services being offered was not new to me. The Office for Aging in Broome County is unique to the other Office for Agings that are located all over New York State because we have some different programming that we'll get into, specifically an age-friendly project and a couple of other things. But the Office for Aging is quite large, and I don't think that people realize the extent of services that are offered here. They range from help with transportation, caseworker services, congregate or feeding, meal sites, just numerous programs, and I look forward to having the opportunity to really expand on that during our conversation.
Yes, absolutely. In preparation for this, I went on the website several times, and it's immense. It's vast. There's a lot going on there, and I have to admit I haven't done a whole lot of homework on this, and so I really look forward to that expansion of exactly the things and the services that you that you do provide. But could you give that? Do you have that website that you could perhaps offer to people right now that people could go and check that out?
Oh, sure. Our website does have a vast amount of information. And so it's gobroomcounty.com/senior. You can look at all the services that we have. There's little glimpses of all the services, but there's lots of other things on there too. We frequently do like a public hearing, and you can see the results of that public hearing. You can see how you can participate in planning services in the future. If you're an older adult that has questions or concerns, you can find out how you can answer some of those questions or concerns or reach us to do that. So the website does have a lot of information. In addition, I would encourage people to look at our Facebook page. We try to stay very up to date on our Facebook page and post numerous opportunities that are happening out in the community. So that's the Office for Aging of Broome County's Facebook page.
Oh, that's wonderful. Social media, that is phenomenal. Great job. Well, let's start with some of the things, some of those specifics that we might be able to expand on, and you know them far greater than I do. Can you begin with a few of them that are important and vital to the services that you provide and such things, and give our viewers and listeners some more specifics on some of those things that you do for the Office for the Aging?
Yeah, I think the idea of the Office for Aging is to make sure that older adults in our area, and we do have an aging population here in Broome County, so we want to make sure that their needs are met. They've been contributors to our community, and we want to make sure that they can live out their older adult years safely and happy and have the things that they need here in Broome County. Part of that is offering services to older adults, but another part of that is making sure that our infrastructure in the county provides aging services and supports as well. So that's one way where our Office for Aging is very unique from the other Office for Agings around the state. We actually we did receive accreditation as a age-friendly community. So back in 2019, surveying began here in Broome County, where over 2,100 people were surveyed to see what the needs were in the community. And this spanned over 10 months, and it was something that developed over 6 work groups. This plan was finalized and approved by the AARP in the fall of 2020, and we are considered a AARP network of age-friendly county,
Wow,
which
wonderful.
is something that a lot of people don't know. And these work groups, they were community partners. It wasn't just Office for Aging. It was people that live here in the community of all ages, especially older adults. It was Binghamton University. It was professionals from different areas. It was everybody coming together to talk about social inclusion, civic participation, employment, transportation, all things that are important to older adults, all things that are important to all of us. Just because you're an older adult and you're aging and maybe not in the workforce in a traditional way, doesn't mean that you don't have an input or have things that we need to hear in order to move forward. So our age-friendly status is a huge success for our county, and the fact that we can also use this age-friendly process when things are being built, when housing developments are being built, when parks are being built, we can work with planners in the area to make sure that benches get put in, that picnic tables that are handicap accessible or wheelchair accessible are available, have an input to make sure that older adults' needs are also included in the planning.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Because when when we were kind of conversing back and forth and via email, I saw that included, and I was not sure what that Broome age-friendly project was. So that it sounds like you've really done your homework, and the accreditation brings with it lots of blessings. Then.
Yes,
Oh,
I mean,
that's wonderful.
I think it's good that people know that they're not forgotten in the planning.
Yeah.
So, there was a recent project, a dog park that's being created at Otsenango. It's been in the news, so people have heard about it. How do we make sure that that dog park has benches? That's a lot of communication for the coordinator here at Office for Aging that handles our age-friendly project to talk to the Binghamton Parks Department, Broome County Parks Department, to make sure that those voices get heard and make sure that we know everyone who's going to be using the park can be accommodated. So things like that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It brings the voices that are in the community to the table. So that is wonderful, friends. Our show today, our guest is Mary Whitcombe, the director of the Broome County Office for Aging. Can you say a little bit more about the other agencies? I see on our list and such things, we talk about senior centers and daycare programs. Can you share a little bit about each of those for our listeners and viewers?
Sure. So Broome County supports 8 senior centers, which are located all over Broome County. There is one in Endwell, Deposit, Harpersville, the city of Binghamton, Johnson City, a second one in Binghamton. Sorry, there's 2 in Binghamton, one in Whitney and one in Vestal. So the idea of the senior centers were to offer locations scattered around the county that provide, they're called congregate meal sites. They provide lunch and activities for older adults. I think people have a misconception of what senior centers look like when you're in them. People believe that they're more frail older adults or people in wheelchairs with disabilities that are sitting around and not being active. And that is just not at all what's happening.
Yes.
The centers typically have exercise rooms, there's wellness programming, there's a variety of activities that happen from pinochle to line dancing to Tai Chi to,
That's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
so many arts and craft projects. So we have a lot of community partners to help us with the senior centers. One thing I would like people to know is that we like to get new ideas at the centers, and people that want to volunteer and provide us new ideas or bring in a new activity or a new project is more than welcome. We would love for you to call us. We do need currently volunteers to help us get the lunch out. We use Sodexo, who provides our food, and we have regular menus, but we need volunteers to help people get their trays or just dole out the food. So anyone that's interested in volunteering, we would love new ideas and fresh people to come in and do things at our centers. Typically, people confuse our centers with the adult day programs.
Yeah.
So they are two very different things. The centers are open for anyone to come into them to participate in activities. The day programs are for memory impaired, much more frail adults that require more of a supervision, but they do participate in many different activities, socialization. They are also provided with a lunch. So I like to explain the difference because people think they're one and the same.
Yeah.
We are, oh, sorry.
Now, are they at the same, where are they at different places in such, the adult day program and the senior center?
That's a good question, and I think that's where some of the confusion comes in.
Yeah.
Because two of our senior centers, one at Broome West and Endwell and one at North Shore Towers on Isabel Street in Binghamton, those senior centers are there, but the adult day programs are also located in a section of those centers.
Okay.
But they're very much separated and they very much do their own activities. Of course, we can do things together, but they are completely different programs.
Oh.
Now, the day programs do require registration. They're not a drop-in center. They are something where we would want people to come and do a meet and greet and really see the place and see if the services will work for their loved one. It is a support for caregivers. The day programs do are currently accepting applicants. At one of our sites, we are looking for people on Mondays and Fridays. But if you have any questions about the day program, I'll provide contact information at the end of this for people that have any questions.
Oh, that would be great. That's a wonderful explanation, because I wasn't sure about that myself. So thank you for shedding some light on that. Now, I see on our list of things that we wanted to cover here, the expanded in-home services. Can you shed a little light on that as to what that is and what that offers?
Yes, I can. So that is another one that I think people have some confusion on. So this expanded in-home services program, this is designed to support seniors with modest incomes. It is not designed to support seniors that have Medicaid. There are resources in the community, such as CASA, that would work with people that have Medicaid. But this particular program here, Office for Aging, is for people with a limited amount of help for chores, errands, and personal care that have what we consider modest incomes. And of course, again, at the end of this broadcast, I'll give information on where people can call.
Okay.
So this could be a few hours of help each week to stay independent in your home. Office for Aging's rule, we really want to keep people in their homes and in the community and be able to age successfully there. We contract with local care agencies to provide some of this help. Families may have what's called a cost share, and that's where they pay a portion, but where we pay a greater portion. So it really is income based in that way. If families have a friend or a neighbor that's interested in providing services, we can also talk to people about a model called consumer-directed care. And again, that's an income-eligible model too, but we would walk people through all of this. We have caseworkers here at Office for Aging that will meet with families to discuss all of these options. It's not something that they have to do on their own. Typically, our caseworkers are talking about housing and transportation, shopper services and respite services, and all the things that people may need to remain in their homes and in the community. We are not different from the rest of New York State when I say that we are experiencing an aide shortage here in Broome County.
Sure.
Finding a care aide has been very difficult. We do have a handful of agencies that we work very well with, but we have had to be more creative in how we're going to serve people in their homes because of this aide shortage. So we are looking to utilize intergenerational supports such as interns, volunteers, and even looking to hire an AmeriCorps worker through the Rural Health Network. An AmeriCorps worker gets a payment of living expenses and school expenses in return for providing services. And we are looking for those currently here. And it's something that if you're interested, we would really like you to call us. And what the interns, volunteers, and AmeriCorps workers would do is really what we call social isolation prevention. It would be providing companionship care, friendly visiting, respite for caregivers to go into the home or maybe even into our senior center and meet with an older adult that needs to spend time with somebody supervised to give the family a break. So that is something we're really working hard on right now because it's just such a need. People are tired with COVID. They're exhausted from being home. They need breaks. So that's something really important to us right now.
Yeah, our present situation sure does certainly forces us to be creative and look outside in different avenues and venues to do what we need to do. So thank you for sharing that. Friends, we are blessed to have Mary Whitcombe, the director of the Broome County Office for Aging, with us today. Can you share a little bit too? I was intrigued in two other areas that I want to make sure we get to, and I want to make sure we get to the numbers also before our time is up. I was intrigued about the foster grandparent program. Can you being a grandpa here of 5?
Sure.
Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that's another great program that people don't know a lot about.
Yeah.
The foster grandparent program is a program, it's federally funded, and it's where we place older adults into schools, daycare centers, Head Start programs in order to provide support to identified children, really the whole classroom benefits and also the teacher. So we offer a stipend. They are income eligible, so it's an older adult that typically has a lower income and receives Social Security. And this doesn't go against their amount of what they receive from Social Security, which is very important for a lot of people.
Sure.
So they receive a stipend, they receive extensive training ongoing with us, and they are chosen and go background checked, placed throughout Broome County, and they provide a lot of support to individual teachers in their placements. Maybe there's a classroom that has a child that is really needy and taking away the attention from other kids in the classroom. A foster grandparent may be placed into that classroom to provide support to the child, but also, again, it benefits the rest of the classroom. And this is also proven to provide grandparents, they report having a purpose in their life. They report more satisfaction with their life. But the schools in the classrooms also report such a benefit as well.
Oh, that's a win-win-win all the way around. That's phenomenal. Yeah. I guess my next question is kind of a selfish question, because this is one of the areas as a pastor of a community church and such that we get asked a lot, and we're kind of sometimes left scrambling, probably because we have not done our homework. Can you say a little bit about the transportation aspect, the transportation service through the Broome County Office for Aging?
Yes, and I'm going to get my notes out on this one because
Yeah.
there's actually quite a few options for transportation.
Mhm.
And it is very confusing. And I do encourage anybody that wants to learn more in depth about what's the best option for them to give us a call. Because not only is there the BC Transit that most people know in the area, but there's several other options. So the BC Transit for older adults is an option. It has fixed routes, and it's typically here in the urban center. So, it has its disadvantages for some older adults, but you can get if you're 65 and older, you can get an OFA card, and that provides you some benefits with the transportation systems. You get a reduced rate on the BC Transit. Typically, it's $2. So with the card, you get the rate is $1. But we also have an Office for Aging minibus, and the minibus provides a curb-to-curb transportation service for adults 60 and over that have that OFA card. This bus operates between 9 and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and you do have to make a reservation to pick you up and a reservation to take you home. But unlike the BC Transit, which you're going to the bus pickup sites that are established around the community, the Office for Aging minibus is going to pick you up right, curb to curb, right where you need to be picked up and drop you off where you need to be dropped off. There's a voluntary contribution to ride the OFA minibus, but we do not take services away for your inability to pay. So that's something that people should talk to us about if they have concerns about finances. There's also a BC Country bus, which some people know about, which goes from the urban areas to the rural areas. And people that are 60 and older with the OFA ID card can ride that bus between 9 and 4. That has a voluntary contribution as well. There's also the BC Lift. So people that have a doctor verified disability can ride the BC Lift. And that runs 5:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Wow.
So there really are a lot of different options. In addition to that, we do work with a program called Get There through the Rural Health Network that offers mobility management opportunities to help us help older adults that for some reason can't utilize one of these resources. There's just a large amount of transportation options, and people should contact us to learn more about that.
That's phenomenal. That's so important, especially in the community in which we live. And so I really appreciate that. I know that we only have a short amount of time left and such things, but is there one of the other agencies that and services that you want to talk about to make sure that we get to it before you share the numbers and such as to how people can contact you? I want to make sure that this actually is probably a 3-part program that we could spend together, and I'm excited about that. But is there one other that you want to just make sure we highlight?
Yeah, I just want to highlight that we do have an information and assistance line, also sometimes called New York Connects, that really operates and is available Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, for people to call in. The New York Connects line is set up so it can accept people of all ages, but mostly people that are 60 and older contact the Office for Aging. And that is to help people find resources, discuss what their needs are. We can talk to them by phone, sometimes go out and meet with them if needed. But this is a resource line. Right now, we're doing a lot of vaccination appointments, making sure people have transportation to get to vaccines and boosters. We have the capability to do online forms and applications that a lot of people don't have devices or internet to complete. So New York Connects, or our information and assistance line, just has so many resources for people, and they should, again, we'll give that information on how people can reach out to us.
Absolutely. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Let me ask you this on kind of a personal note, because there's so much here, and you have been a blessing. This is wonderful. Do you mind if I ask where your passion comes from in this kind of work and such things? Has there been something in your life? Has there been an experience or something like that that lights your fire within you to do this work?
Well, the last 20 years, like I said, I've been with a nonprofit, and I know that people sometimes don't believe that Office for Aging or the government county programs are similar, but they are. I mean, they're here to help, and my passion comes from just wanting to make sure that I've worked with people from 0 to obviously older adults. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that there's resources out there and that people um, don't go on with life and not reach out because they think somebody needs it more, or they think that they have enough, or they don't want to bother anybody. This is what we're here for. And I really just want people to get what they need.
Yeah. Oh man, that's phenomenal, and just this is wonderful, because a lot of times it isn't. It's promotion. It's getting the word out there. It's public relations. It's social media. It's things like this where we can highlight and such things. All of that. So, can you just give as we wrap up here, what numbers, what contact information do you want to share as we conclude our time together?
Absolutely. I'm going to make it very easy for people. Besides our Facebook and our website that has a great deal of information, contact us at 607-778-2411, and we can answer your questions from there.
Mary, this has been phenomenal. I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for the work that the Broome County Office for Aging is doing in this community, because it is important and it's vital for so many people. So I want to thank you for being our guest here on the show.
Thank you so much for offering for us to come on.
Absolutely. Brothers and sisters, we have been blessed today to hear from Mary Whitcombe, the director of the Broome County Office for Aging. And please take this information and share it and use it and promote it, and go wherever you have to go on their website and their Facebook page to get the information that you need to care for one another. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you all.